Every single day, new startups blast into the market with big promises, destruction, and change. Yet most founders, investors, and leaders find themselves stuck in an unrelenting storm of noise, gimmicks, empty advice, and the same tired tactics that lead straight to burnout and disappointment. It's brutal. The pressure is suffocating. You pour your soul into building something real, only to watch it get swallowed in the endless sea of competition, confusion, and invisible barriers. You see your dreams choking under the weight of what the world says you have to do to win. Cold calls, flashy ads, overcrowded pitches, feedback loops that feel like endless rejection. You grind and grind but never quite break through. The truth? Almost everyone is playing the same game, the game that was handed down by the broken systems, the game that hides the one powerful truth about go-to-market strategies nobody dares to use. Because, here's the raw deal. The world screams, scale fast, grow fast, raise more, market more. But that mindset, it kills more startups than it saves. It traps you in a factory of mediocrity wrapped in hustle culture, constantly chasing visibility but rarely building real connection. And connection, that raw, messy human connection, is the battlefield no one is brave enough to fight on. That's the invisible wall. The disconnect between your product's value and the people who need it most isn't in your product. It's in your story, your tribe, your soul's language. The strategy no one dares to use is the strategy of radical alignment. Not with big markets, not with broad target audiences, but with a fiercely small, almost sacred community, so fiercely tied to your mission that they become your hell-bent champions, not just customers. This is where it cuts the bullshit. It's not about blasting messages everywhere, hoping like hell someone clicks. It's about becoming a signal they can't ignore in a world drowning in noise. It's about dropping the mask, dropping the scripts, and getting real so raw it's uncomfortable, because discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. When you build your go-to-market strategy on foundations of total, relentless authenticity, when you craft your narrative and your offer so tightly around the core of who you are and who you serve, you stop chasing eyeballs and start magnetizing the right eyes. This strategy doesn't care about the millions who will scroll past. It's built to pierce through the fog and resonate so deeply with a select few that they'll carry your message like a torch, burning through even the toughest markets. But this comes with a warning. It's not easy. You have to shed everything that's safe. You have to be willing to raise your hand and say, I don't want to play the industry's game. You have to reject the comfort of just being one more option, or trying to appeal to everyone. Because appealing to everyone means truly appealing to no one. The power lives in the few who get it, the few who feel the fire you carry and want to join the blaze. Imagine replacing that exhausting pressure of chasing cold leads with conversations that start with, we get it, and end with, how can we build this together? Imagine your growth fueled not by ads, but by trust so deep and relationships so tight that customers become partners, advocates, even family. The technical truth behind this is simple but shocking. The scaling model that's preached everywhere is upside down. The real go-to-market masterstroke comes from growing down, not up. Build your base narrow and thick, not wide and thin. Forge a network of users, early adopters, and believers who are not just passive consumers, but active creators and co-owners of your vision. This is not just marketing, it's movement building. You don't create customers, you cultivate radicals, not followers, but collaborators. This flips traditional funnels on their head and rejects the viral chase for vanity metric numbers. Instead, it focuses on perpetual ignition, the kind of passion and engagement that doesn't fade with a new algorithm change or competitor's campaign. Look around at the founders who have truly broken through recently. The ones you whisper about in boardrooms. The ones who don't just survive but rewrite entire markets. None got there by mass shotgun tactics. They laser-focused, built real relationships even when it felt too slow at first. They found the edges, the small pockets of users who felt misunderstood by every other product on the shelf, and personified their struggle and their hopes like a mirror. That's your starting point, the overlooked margins that crave something different, something real. To do this, you must enter a mindset of ruthless clarity and patience. The temptation is to sprint, to broaden, to scale faster at any cost. But this strategy asks for something far braver. Slow down to go deep. Use every interaction as a chance to listen, learn, and evolve your message. Invest as much time in who you serve as you do in what you sell. Your product must become inseparable from your tribe's identity, a tool that not only solves a problem but expresses something sacred to them, their values, their dreams, their very sense of who they are. When your go-to-market strategy becomes a mirror for your audience's soul, growth becomes a natural byproduct of magnetism, not persuasion. But let's be clear. This requires you to relocate your power from the narrative the market gives you to the one you create together, with your tribal few. You rebuild from the edge, not the center. You break free from templates, buzzwords, and beaten paths. You dare to let your voice be flawed, human, and unpolished, because that's what real connection demands. Some will call it risky. Some will say it's inefficient. But every meaningful evolution in business history came from this exact kind of insurgent clarity. Here's something almost no one tells you. When you build your strategy this way, you don't just acquire customers, you activate them. You turn them into living, breathing extensions of your mission, who bring others with equal fire into your orbit. Imagine the power when your go-to-market becomes a living ecosystem of relentless believers who don't just buy your solution, but fight for it, rewrite it with you, and amplify it in ways no ad budget could buy. This is how legacies are born and legends form. This is how a moment becomes a movement. Don't let the conventional wisdom lock you into a cycle of buy and burn, sprint and stumble, shout and fade away. The strategy nobody dares to use is the radical, almost spiritual practice of building down and deep, of crafting your market not from data points or analytics, but from story, identity, and trust. It demands vulnerability, courage, and a stubborn refusal to settle for anything less than authentic resonance. This is your manifesto for real go-to-market success. Stop chasing everyone. Start finding the few. Stop measuring reach and start measuring depth. Stop selling products and start sharing missions. Hear that quiet roar inside you that's tired of strategy that feels empty, tired of tactics that breed burnouts. That roar? It's your call to transcend the status quo, to stop being a player in a broken system and become the architect of something exceptional. Something rare. Something that can't be bought or faked. The secret weapon? Alignment. Radical alignment with people who see you, get you, want to build with you. That means laser sharp shooting your story, your message, and your product until it pierces through the static and reaches the hearts ready to burn with your vision. It means investing in real relationships, in real conversations, building a network of fierce believers who carry your flame because it ignites theirs. This is how true liberation happens in go-to-market strategy. Not by copying what's been done, but by daring what's never been dared. Not by fitting in the market, but by redefining it so fundamentally that the market has to catch up to you. It's not for everyone. It never was. It's for the few who refuse to accept what's normal, who are ready to burn the old rulebook and write their own, who are sick of echo chambers and tired advice, who know that the path to impact is paved by the brave, the bold, and the relentless builders of new realities. If there's fire in your gut, an unbearable tension that screams you were meant for more, this is the path out of noise and into power. Because the world's loudness isn't your enemy, it's your challenge. To peel back the distraction and find the few souls who will change everything with you. This is the go-to-market strategy of the future. The strategy of the rare. The strategy of the unstoppable few who will reshape what's possible and leave the broken systems behind. When you step into this, every doubt, every rejection, every burnout becomes fuel. You build not just a company, but a movement. Not just customers, but kin. Not just growth, but freedom. And freedom, that's the real market to win.